Sometimes a single voice can cut through the noise and make the world listen. At the recent G20 Summit, Indonesian Vice President Gibran Rakabuming Raka became that voice. He stood not just for Indonesia, but for all humanity, carrying the weight of the world's forgotten sorrows. In a room focused on power and policy, Gibran spoke about people, about suffering, about hope. He reminded leaders that behind every decision are real lives, real dreams, and real pain. His message was a heartfelt appeal. Remember our shared humanity. This wasn't just another political speech. It was a plea to see the faces behind the numbers. Gibran called on the world's most powerful to lead with compassion, not just strategy. True leadership, he said, is measured by how we care for the most vulnerable. His words echoed far beyond the summit, resonating with anyone who's ever felt helpless in the face of global tragedy. Gibran gave voice to the silent cries of millions, declaring their lives matter and their pain is real. It was a moment of clarity and hope, a call for collective responsibility. Gibran named the places where suffering is most acute: Gaza, Ukraine, Sudan, the Sahel. He painted a world where conflict is a daily reality, not a distant headline. Homes reduced to rubble, families left with nothing but trauma. In Gaza, over 21,000 children lost, a tragedy beyond statistics. In Ukraine, families torn apart by war. In Sudan, millions pushed to famine. In the Sahel, entire communities displaced. Gibran forced leaders to confront these human tragedies, not as distant problems, but as wounds that diminish us all. He connected the pain of a mother in Gaza to the fear of a child in Ukraine and the hunger of a father in Sudan. This is a global pattern of destruction, a tapestry of sorrow woven from conflict and indifference. Gibran's message: we cannot look away or pretend this isn't happening. Acknowledging this suffering is the first step toward healing. He challenged the world to wake up, to see these tragedies as our shared reality. Only by facing the truth can we begin to heal. Gibran's stark warning: the world must not allow and normalize preventable human suffering to become the new normal. These tragedies are not acts of nature. They are the result of human choices and inaction. In an age of constant headlines, there's a real danger we become numb to suffering. Gibran warned against this normalization, the slow acceptance that suffering is just part of life. Accepting preventable deaths and destruction is a moral failure. When we lose our outrage, we lose our humanity. Gibran's call is to hold on to empathy, to never accept injustice as routine. This isn't about politics, it's about basic human decency. No child should starve, no family should be bombed, no generation should grow up in fear. Gibran drew a line: we must refuse to let preventable suffering become normal. Compassion must be our standard, not indifference. He challenged us to resist apathy and demand better from ourselves and our leaders. The world can change, but only if we refuse to accept the unacceptable. We must stand together, united by empathy. This is the line we cannot cross. Gibran urged us to look past the headlines and see the real stories of conflict. Every war is a collection of personal tragedies: a girl who can't go to school, a shopkeeper's ruined business, a doctor running out of supplies. Families are torn apart, laughter replaced by fear, hope replaced by survival. In Gaza, Ukraine, Sudan, lives are upended, futures stolen. Conflict forces impossible choices: stay and risk everything, or flee and lose it all. Dreams are put on hold, sometimes forever. The fabric of society, schools, hospitals, markets, is ripped apart. The world loses the potential, creativity, and goodness of those affected. Gibran's speech honored these stolen futures and shattered dreams. He reminded leaders that their decisions have real, life-or-death consequences. A single resolution can mean hope or despair for families they'll never meet. We have a moral obligation to stop the destruction and help rebuild. Every lost story is a loss for all of us. Gibran's proposal was simple yet radical: put humanity at the heart of global governance. Before any policy, ask: how will this affect people? Will it ease suffering or create more? For too long, global affairs have been a chess game of power. Gibran challenged this, arguing that empathy is strength, not weakness. When we put humanity first, priorities shift. Peace becomes more valuable than weapons, feeding the hungry more important than profits. Our world is interconnected. Chaos in one region affects us all. Gibran's call is both moral and practical. Only by working together can we face global challenges. True leadership builds bridges, not walls. Success is measured by the suffering we end, not the power we wield. We are all in this together. Our only hope is shared humanity. Gibran's vision is an invitation to every leader and citizen to make this real. Gibran addressed the G20 for a reason. They hold immense power and responsibility. These nations shape the world's economy and influence billions of lives. With great power comes a moral obligation to lead by example. It's not about blame, but about using their capacity to help. The G20 can fund aid, broker peace, and invest in solutions to root causes. Their choices set the tone for the world. Leading by example means turning words into action, not just issuing statements. The world is tired of empty promises. Gibran challenged the G20 to deliver real change. This means de-escalating conflicts, ensuring aid reaches those in need, and holding violators accountable. The most powerful must also be the most compassionate. This duty extends to all of us. We must demand our leaders prioritize humanity. The G20's moral compass is shaped by the people it represents. Gibran's call was to awaken the conscience of leaders and citizens alike. Gibran linked growth and resilience as inseparable. True progress isn't just economic, it's about building fair, strong societies. Growth must lift everyone, not just a privileged few. Resilience means systems that endure crises, healthcare, food, stability. But it's also about hope. Education, jobs, justice give people a stake in their future. Without fairness, prosperity is unstable and fleeting. Investing in justice, education, and healthcare is vital for lasting growth. When everyone can reach their potential, the whole world benefits. Fairness is the foundation of prosperity. We don't have to choose between a strong economy and a just society. We need both. Growth funds resilience. Resilience fuels growth. This is the path to a safer, fairer, more hopeful world for all. Gibran's message, prosperity and justice must go hand in hand. Gibran's speech leaves us with a sense of shared responsibility. The world's pain and injustice belong to all of us. We are all connected, our destinies intertwined. Responsibility starts with leaders but extends to every one of us. We must pay attention, refuse to look away, and keep these conversations alive. Compassion can become action, support aid organizations, advocate for peace, demand humanity-first policies. No action is too small. Every voice and effort adds to a chorus leaders can't ignore. Our shared responsibility is also our collective hope. When people unite for good, incredible things happen. History is changed by ordinary people refusing to accept injustice. Gibran's call is to awaken that spirit in each of us. Together, we can heal our world. The power to change is in our hands. Where do we go from here? We answer Gibran's call and our own conscience. This is a moment for action, not just reflection. Let's decide. We will not accept preventable suffering as normal. Let's build a world where empathy and compassion guide leaders and citizens alike. For the G20 and all nations, put humanity at the center, work together for peace, protect the vulnerable, and lead by example. Show that true strength is upholding human dignity, not waging war. For all of us, open our hearts, refuse to become numb, and see the humanity in every person. Support peacemakers, use our voices and votes for a better world. Be the change. Say no more to preventable suffering. The journey is long, but we must take the first step together. Let Gibran's words spark a global movement of compassion. Let them awaken the world's conscience. This is our shared responsibility, and our greatest hope.